Looking to make a guy chase you? How can you convince him that you're a catch without making the first move? To put it simply, you can't. You need to send one of these simple text messages in order to spark his interest, catch his eye, and encourage him to make the first move. Hi, I'm Amy North, author of The Devotion System in Text Chemistry. I offer simple dating advice you can actually use that's backed up by experts. If that sounds like something you can use, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can get new videos before anyone else. So, let's talk about texting. 20 years ago, we hadn't even heard the term. So how important can text messages be when it comes to dating? Well, it turns out that they've really impacted how we communicate in relationships. In fact, a recent study found that 88% of men and 18% of women have broken up with someone over text. But it turns out that text messages are not only useful to end a relationship, they can actually be crucial to beginning one, which brings us to our first text. Text number 1, hi, smiley face. A simple text message with an important message. If you want a guy to chase you for a date, it doesn't mean you have to just sit on your hands and wait for him to make the first move. If you're watching this video, chances are that it hasn't worked out for you so far. Instead, you should make a concentrated effort to seek him out and connect with him, to signal to him that you're single and interested in getting to know him more. You don't have to spell it out for him too clearly. You don't want to come off as desperate. But simply reaching out and engaging him in conversation is an effective way to let him know that you're looking for a date. So, don't leave him on red. Keep your text messages fun and engaging, and always keep the conversations going. Pretty soon, if he's interested, he's going to ask you out. Text number 2, I had a dream about you last night. This one can be great if you're looking to introduce a little sexual tension into the conversation. You don't need to get too specific about what the two of you were doing in the dream. Let his mind run wild with assumptions. Basically, you're letting him know that he's on your mind, and that's going to give him the idea that you might see him as more than just a friend or a coworker. Use this one sparingly, though. You don't want to be that person who is always describing their dreams to other people. Text number 3, what are you wearing? This one flips the script on a typical question that a guy might ask you during phone sex. That's what makes this text both flirty and funny, as he's not going to see it coming. Whatever he says in return, keep the conversation going. You could follow up with a, sounds like it would look even better on my floor, if you want to get really graphic, or just play it off as a joke. In any case, if he knows that you have a dirty mind, it's going to make him wonder what else you've got in store for him. Text number 4, how about we meet up during the day next time? This is for those women who have already been with a guy and are trying to get to know him a bit more outside of the bedroom. I find that some women like to read a guy the riot act in this situation or give him an ultimatum, but I find that it's always more effective to start with a more measured approach and see if he picks up on what you're putting down. This text also lets him feel like he's in control of the situation, that it's his choice to ask you out, not the other way around. Text number 5, you're not like other guys. Be careful with this one. It shouldn't be a put down to other guys, but rather a compliment to him. Chances are there are things about this guy that sets him apart, or why would you be interested in him? Simply identify these aspects of his personality and shine a light on them. Men want to feel special, just like women do, and if you can make him feel special, he'll be yours. Wondering if he even likes you at all? Sometimes it's not easy to tell, but it just got a whole lot easier. Go to coachnorth.com/doesheliKeme and take the free quiz. It takes just 5 minutes, and based on your answers, it'll tell you what chances you have with this guy and what you should do next. It's totally confidential too. That's coachnorth.com/doesheliKeme. Text number 6, no text at all. If you want a man to chase you, you're going to have to let him chase you. A recent study published in the journal Computers and Human Behavior found something interesting about text messaging in relationships. They discovered that something called text message share is a big predictor of relationship satisfaction. Simply put, this means if both partners sent close to the same number of text messages to one another, they both reported high satisfaction. If the text message share was uneven, meaning one partner sent many more messages than the other, then both partners reported low satisfaction in the relationship. All this to say, if you need to take steps to equalize your text message share as early in the relationship as possible. So, don't double text, don't send him a bunch of messages when he's sending one-word replies, and don't reach out to him too often or risk scaring him off. It's much more common for women to scare a guy off with more text messages than it is for her to win his heart with the right text message. Keep that in mind when you're trying to entice your guy. I know, it can be a lot to absorb all at once. If you feel like you need more help with your texting, you're in luck because I've barely scratched the surface here. For more in-depth information, you need to check out my free video presentation right now over at coachnorth.com/texting. There you'll learn how to win his heart with just one text, along with a ton of other sneaky text messages that will win him over. That's coachnorth.com/texting. Thanks for watching. I'm Amy North, and I'll see you in the next video.